What's up, YTPC? Uncle Willie coming to you on this hump day from the coop. After the last 2 days, I deserve this rest and taking it easy and enjoying a bowl, then a cigar. So, I am smoking my Chacom by Tom Eltang, and it's just a beautiful pipe. Beautiful shape. Everything about it. The look, the feel. My wife says, I've got 3 Chacoms, and they all have the same feel to them. They got a good in-hand feel. She said they feel light. Not because they are light or not light. She said just the way they feel, it makes them feel light. And I can understand that. The texture of them they feel different than other pipes that I own. And even if they have similar grain pattern as what this is, this Chacom has a different feel on the finish of their pipe. In it to win it. You ain't gonna believe it. You ain't gonna believe it. Bam. What? That's what I said. You ain't gonna believe it. I broke this flake. I broke this piece off the side. Let's see. Yeah. I just dropped the lid. That's what it looked like before I broke it. Oh, it didn't fall. Good for me. It's got a little ketchup smell at the very front end. If you just take it and just go, you just get a little ketchup smell to it. Not really vinegar, it's just like a ketchup with no sugar added. Straight up ketchup. Or if you're a Hunt's guy, catsup. But it don't really stay there in the room note, in the tin note for long. Smoky, sweet, but not as smoky sweet as 1792. No comparison to the tin note. For one reason, this doesn't have tonka bean. It does have a dark fired in this, same as 1792. Both are made by amazing blenders / manufacturers. This is Rattray's, made by Kohlhaas and Kopp. And of course, 1792 is made by Sam Gower. The stuff smells really, really good. I mean, it's almost like you could make a candle out of this. What's the room note? Who cares? I like it. This is from like the first part of 21. I smoked 1 or 2 bowls of it and then put it in one of my flats and put it under the table, and of course, you know what happens then. You forget about it because you buy other stuff and you get into smoking the other stuff that you're liking at the time, and well, you know the story. You know the story. little windy out here. You can see how the smoke just wants to bellow away. So, let me fill you in on the the changing of the guard, changing of the coils and plugs in my wife's car. As we all know, I made it out to be such a simple task because it is a simple task. You take the plastic engine cover off the top, everything is right there. 4 coil packs right in a row. Sticking straight up are the plugs underneath the coil pack, connected to the coil pack. 1 bolt that's screwed into plastic to take the coil pack off. Unplug it, it comes right off. You take a spark plug wrench, go straight down into the spark plug, take it out, reverse the process with the new parts, spark plug, coil pack, wire, bam, you're done. It shouldn't take no more than 15 minutes to take a coil pack out and a plug and replace them. I got the first 2 done in, like, I'm gonna say it, in record-breaking time. I mean, it was going too good to last. Went to get into plug number 3. It was a little harder getting the plug out, which I had an extension and a universal, and the extension was kind of short, and the universal, that made up the distance, the height, for me to be able to clear the top of the engine to turn the ratchet to get the spark plugs out. Well, number 3 plug, it was a little tough getting it out. That extension, trying to hold it, it kept, I mean, the universal, y'all know universal works like this. When you turn it, it turns. But anyway, I finally got number 3 broke loose. I'd sprayed them all with WD-40 before I took it down to the end of the road here to work on it. No, I didn't, because I didn't take it apart till I got down there. But anyway, I'd sprayed them all and let them set for a few minutes with some WD-40. I smoked a little cigarillo while I was waiting. Well, the guy that I watched the video of, when he changed the plugs, which is the same process of changing plugs and coil pack, because you got to take the coil pack out to get to the plug, so then you got everything just put new back in. But when he took the engine cover off for the car he worked on, he took a air compressor with a wand and blew off the top of the engine, so that way nothing would fall into the combustion chamber. So I don't have an air compressor, so I bought a can of that compressed air like you use on your computer. That worked. I sprayed off everything on top of the engine and it didn't no trouble. I had nothing, no leaves or debris or anything up there. So finally got number 3 plug out. So I sprayed the number 4. I took it out, took the coil pack off, sprayed number 4, and let it sit for about 15 minutes. Because that is the one that was foul, that had misfired. So I just sprayed it and gave it a little more time. Well, it didn't matter because it didn't work out. I ended up with with the incorrect tools, with my extension being too short and my ratchet actually being too short to get any leverage on it, it actually hurt me because it broke the spark plug. It broke the porcelain off the top of the spark plug. By using that universal, it made the extension, I guess, twist, and just enough to slip the spark plug wrench off the spark plug and broke the porcelain on the top of it. I got a shop vac, but it's at the house. My car is 200 feet away. I have like 150 feet of extension cords. So I didn't even try to stretch it out to go that far. I was like, well, I guess I need to push the car. At this point, I had to push the car up to the house, 200 feet by myself. No power steering, of course. So when I got to where I needed to go, I started turning to get it in there in the parking spot. It got stuck. I couldn't push it no farther, and I needed to go like 8 more feet, 10 feet tops. I needed to go a little bit more, and I didn't have enough ass to push it backwards to get it rolling again, or to push it forward. Where it was stuck. Luckily for me, my neighbor came home at the same time as I was stuck in the middle of the road. She got out, and she's strong for her size. She's petite. And I mean, I make 2 of her. I told her I needed to get it up in there. She jumped behind the car and started pushing. It started moving before I even started helping. I mean, she got some muscles on her. I was like, well, damn. So I helped what I could, push him by the steering wheel. Got it in and jumped it in park real quick, and thanked her. And without her, I'd have been stuck out there. I'd had to get my wife to come down to help me, and everything. And she's working. But anyway, we got it up in there. Vacuum cleaner. I've got these little nozzles for like detail work in your car. It's an Armor All vacuum cleaner made for a car to detail and vacuum. Those little nozzles just weren't long enough to get down to the bottom of the base, and some of the porcelain had got in there and got wedged. So I took that can of air and sprayed in there, and some of it came out. So I was like, all right, this is the way to get it. If I'd have had an air compressor with one of those long wands and sprayed that in there to start with, it would have probably blown all the porcelain out. Well, with the porcelain being broke and stuck down in there, I couldn't get the socket back down in there on top of the freaking spark plug. So this is what the plug looks like. Yeah, it's supposed to be porcelain all the way up to there. So I had to pick everything trying to get this out. And look how nasty that thing is where it was fouled. So I went to my son-in-law's and got a longer, he took the jack handle off of his floor jack. That was a rod that's about 2 foot long, solid steel, where I could put the ratchet, slide the ratchet on it, so I could have it that much longer to give me some leverage. And he gave me an extension that actually was long enough to stick above the engine. Before I went over there to get it, I almost flooded the spark plug chamber with WD-40, hoping that it would penetrate it to break it loose, because it didn't break loose the first day. I got back home and went messing around. It still took me about 45 minutes before it finally did break loose with using the extension and pipe to get leverage on it. Once I got it broke loose and was able to turn it, I still had to use the ratchet to take the spark plug out till it got probably about 4 threads left before I could actually turn it by hand with the extension to get it out. But in the meantime, before I got the correct extension and jack handle, yeah, I busted like 6 out of 8 knuckles, the back of my hand, my elbows, blood blisters. Yeah, I beat myself up. As you get older, your skin gets weaker, and it don't take much for my skin to break and for me to start bleeding. I keep these little square band-aids in my wallet. I was on blood thinners for a long time, and when I was on them, I could get one of these little cuts like that and I'd bleed for 2 hours. Well, only blood thinner I'm on now is just aspirin, low dose. But that's just enough that it still makes my blood, I bleed. And it's always my hands that I get knocked around or whatever. So, for an hour, what should have only taken about an hour, if you add up Monday and Tuesday time, it probably took 7 or 8 hours to do a 1-hour job. The mobile lounge needs brakes, but luckily for me, I don't know how to do them. So that's gonna save me some knuckles. I got a buddy that is a mechanic that's gonna do them. I'm just gonna buy the parts and take them over to his house. He's got a lift in his garage and everything, so I just take it over there, and he only charges $25 a wheel to change the brakes. That's well worth it. If you were to take it into a shop somewhere, it's like $200 a wheel for brakes, parts, and labor and everything. $250, because they always want to give you more than what you need. So he'll just do whatever it needs to be done. So that's where I've been the last couple days, guys. Been busting knuckles. But after I got all the right parts and I calmed down, a little bit of praying, a little bit of cussing, and I calmed down, I actually smoked a cigar and just sat out there and chilled for about 30 minutes. Then I got up and the spark plug was finally broke loose, and when I say broke, I mean it broke loose. So, there you have it. I'm gonna jump. This pipe's about done. I'm gonna go grab a cigar, sit out here. We're going to pick up our youngest granddaughter from daycare about 4:30, and then take her over to my daughter's house and wait for them, because my other granddaughter is having something's going on at her gymnastics class that my daughter asked if we would pick up the youngest for her, so that way they could go there right after work and whatever. So of course we jumped at the opportunity to be able to spend some time with our little pickle. So guys, I'm gonna jump, and remember, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And with that being said, until next time, you know what to do. Stuff them and puff them.